Hey, what's up everyone? Got something pretty exciting in today. Got my 8-18 in, and the reason I'm pretty excited about this is going to give me that wide angle goodness. I do have a prime. I've got the prime 15mm here. That's that Panasonic Leica 15. I love it. I've taken some great photos with it. It's great for video, but sometimes you want that zoom capability. So I did pick up that Panasonic Leica 8-18 that just came out. Pretty interested to see how it stacks up size-wise compared to the 12-60. So I'm going to do an open boxing pretty quick, my first thoughts on it, and go from there. So this is the first time I've cracked this open, but I pretty much know what to expect. So in this guy we've got a lens hood, the lens pouch, instructions like normal. I'll pull the lens out here. The thing that I'm expecting is I'm expecting the lens hood to be very similar to the 12-60. It's going to be the same design, and really this lens along with the 12-60 in the future 50-200 create some pretty interesting scenarios. You know, it makes you really rethink the trinity of lenses you can go out with, where right now traditionally most people have their 24-70 equivalent, their 70-200, and then their I guess what would be the 18-35 or 16-35, I'm sorry. You know, that's kind of already in the realm, but with what Panasonic and Leica have done here is you're going to have a 2.8 to f4 lens that you can have the ability for a 50-200, which is a 100-400 in full frame equivalent, then that 24-120 in the 12-60, and then this guy. So I mean, you're going to be able to get a much wider range, and truthfully when you're using these zooms in most cases, you know, if I'm out for a hike or if I'm out for some sort of outdoor adventure, I'm going to have good light. So this really gives me the ability to really change that triangle of lenses I'm going to have with me. So picking up the lens, it's very similar to what you'd see on that 12-60. It is a little narrower at the base, but one thing that you are going to notice is it is almost a bell shape here. It gets wider as it goes out. So one reason I sold my 7-14 was the ability or the inability to put filters on there. So this is threaded. You can put a filter on there, and the reason they've done that is they don't have that permanent hood built in. So they've been able to accomplish that by changing the outside diameter here and giving us a little more versatility. So popping it off, you can see it's got a nice round lens there, a round bulbous lens there. It's not too big though. It's not too round to where you're going to get the appearance of like you're going to have sort of a fisheye. So I'm really interested to see the distortion on this guy. But we're going to throw the lens hood on, and then we're going to compare it to the 12-60. So definitely gets wider as it goes. That was to be expected. Not really shocked here. You do have your autofocus, manual focus. The nice thing about this guy is all of the zooming, when you are changing your focal length, is internal to the housing of the lens. And let me pop this off again. The hood has the button. You'll be able to see it here. So when you are zooming, the motion is going to be on the inside of this housing. Now it is still extending. It is still extending here, but it's happening on the inside of the housing, and we can get a little shot there to where you can see it a little better. Now the only question I'm going to have is, as you can see it come forward, you can see it does creep up halfway up the threads there. So I don't think that'll be an issue with your standard thread-on filters, just because they typically don't go too deep, but it'll be interesting to look at. So really impressed with the build quality of this. Not really shocked. Kind of knew what I was expecting, and having the Leica zoom before. Pretty excited to get out and use this, not gonna lie. So the hood is about the same shape. Everything is similar in build quality, but it is wider. So size-wise, between the 12-60, you can see here, it's a little narrower at the base, but it is definitely wider at the bell or the lens end, and that'll be pretty easy to see, and I'll show those in some close-ups here. So again, check out the video when I get the reviews. I've got reviews coming out of the standard zooms, your traditional Mark 1s, 12-35, 35-100. Got review coming out of 12-60, and as well as some camera comparisons. So I've been fortunate enough to build my kit up to exactly where I want it. I've got a G7 for my B-roll, GH5 is my main shooter, and then my backup that I got a great deal on is this GX8. So Although it has the anti-aliasing filter at 20 megapixel, it's still great to have the same size files just because you can do so much in Lightroom now. I don't really think that's a detriment. I did love my G85, but the transition to be able to go from that to the GH5 has really been a big benefit for me. So check out more videos to come. I'll get you some close-ups of this guy, and I'll have some more philosophy videos coming out. So appreciate you. Subscribe. Like the video. If you didn't like this one, make sure to smash that dislike button twice.